College for Women Autonomous Pudukkottai, and I am here to deliver a speech about the great person Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy and the great book about her by the respected author V.R. Devika ma'am. While preparing to speak about Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy, I was searching for a word or a sentence to convey my exact feeling about her. Even the word great seemed to be failing there. And when I was indulged in my thoughts, the one sentence which got through in my heart is the one from this book. In the beginning, it said that even Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy was a bit confused about the spelling of her name, whether it is R-E-D-D-Y or R-E-D-D-I. And it is said that Reddy or Reddy Muthulakshmi was ready for the long battles at different periods of her life to achieve some seemingly impossible task. Yes, through which she attained great positions in our heart. Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy, the woman who left a mark in the field of medicine, education, law, women empowerment and much more. The women who broke the barriers of gender and pushed her boundaries in multiple areas. Hailing from humble beginnings, she was born on 30th of July in 1886 in the princely state of Pudukkottai, Tamil Nadu, to Narayana Swami Iyer and Chandrama. Her father was ostracized from his family because of his marriage to a Devadasi, because of which Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy developed a close relationship with the maternal side of her family, and this closeness made her very perspective of the community and their issues. Like how a small spark can burn the entire forest, the small spark of her enthusiasm is what made her father to break the barriers of tradition, and he decided to make her steady. After a lot of hardship and home tutoring, she passed the matriculation in 1902 with flying colors, but her application in Maharaja College was not received that well by the society. The Maharaja at that time disagreed all the protests and granted her scholarship. Muthulakshmi became the first girl student to be admitted in men's college. She created a history of being the first. Didn't just stop here. In fact, this was just the beginning. When her mother wanted her to get married and when she was offered a job in teaching profession, she refused them as she aspired for something even much more great. She went on to study medicine. She was the first and the only woman candidate in the medical college in 1907. She became the first girl to score 100% in surgery. In the college, at first when she was refused to even get admitted, the barriers fell at last, and her classmates honored her with an intermediate intercaste dinner. A first again. She became the first woman house surgeon in the government maternity and ophthalmic hospital. She became the first women legislator in British India in 1926. And this marked the beginning of her lifelong efforts to correct the balance for women by removing the social abuses and working for equality in moral standards. Her book, My Experience as a Legislator, has recorded all her services in legislation. We all know about her contribution in the establishment of Araya Cancer Institute and our home. But there are a lot much more we need to learn about her, which we can learn through the book, through this great book. And I'd like to mention some points though. The Kasturiba Hospital is a monument to her efforts in passing the resolution to establish a special hospital for women and children. It was due to her persistent efforts that despite of opposition, she brought the Anti-Polygamy Act bill. With this, the bill for the suppression of broadless and immoral trafficking of women and children was piloted by her and passed in 1930. She is the one who set up a separate hostel for Muslim girls and provided scholarship for Hajiran Girls Institute. She also recommended the then government to increase the minimum age of marriage for girls to 16 and that of boys to 21. And continuing on with her list of being the first, she became the first chairperson of the State Social Welfare Advisory Board. She became the first woman deputy president of Legislative Council. She became the first alderwoman of the Madras Corporation, our home. Born in pre-independence India and influenced by Gandhi and Dr. Annie Besant, Dr. Muthulakshmi was a trailblazer building a war of resistance to the suppression of women. That's why the leaders of that time chose to include her name in the first flag of independence that was hoisted on Red Fort in 1947. Her efforts was awarded Padma Bhushan in 1956. She passed away in the year 1968, but even after 54 years, still now she dwells in our heart in that high place, and her efforts towards our society resonate in our lives. And taking Dr. Muthulakshmi Reddy as the subject of my speech, we can go on and on for hours and hours. But here, I'd like to conclude my speech by saying this, that the story, Muthulakshmi Reddy, a trailblazer in surgery and women's rights, by respected author D.R. Devika Madam, is the story of a woman who made it a point not just to question the wrongs of the society, but also find solutions to fix it. So I request everyone gathered here to read the story of pioneer path creator for women. Get motivated, break the barriers, and become the trailblazer. Thank you for this opportunity.